All right, like I said, this is super easy to make. And hopefully, let me know in the comments if you have tried it before. I have made it several years in the past and done it as gifts. So it's super easy to make and inexpensive. If you're just joining us, we're making hot cocoa mix here this morning. I was supposed to have Dory with Junkery Funkery join me, but technology does not like me this week and it's not allowing her to join in a split screen. So I'm just gonna make it here. She's gonna make a version on her Facebook page and then we'll share both to the 25 Days of Christmas event. It's just how it goes sometimes. So let me find, and this is just a recipe that I found on Pinterest. It's not like my family recipe or anything, so it's nothing special. So the first thing that you're going to use is dried milk. This was the priciest part of the whole recipe. I spent $11 on this bag, but you're going to get a ton out of it, so don't worry about that cost, I guess. Okay, so I'm going to do 3 cups of this. And I didn't pre-measure because it's all in watching it, right? I haven't seen, has anyone made this before? It's fun to do and then just put into jars, although this year jars and, well, the jars you can get, the lids are a little bit harder to come by for whatever reason, Corona 2020. Okay. So this is just dried milk, flakes, kind of a flakes consistency. And I'm assuming there are different brands. My little grocery store only had one kind. So I don't know if you find it somewhere else, if it would be cheaper, or if you wanted to make a whole bunch of it, you could buy it bulk like at Costco or somewhere like that. So you do 3 cups of the dried milk. And now the recipe does call to use your mixer, but I didn't think that that would work on a video and I didn't want to mess with it. So I'm just going to be whisking all of the ingredients. So next up is powdered sugar and you use a 1/2 cup and you can either use powdered or granulated. You could do a mix of it. I'm just using powdered sugar for the sake of the video today. So I think that'll be okay with everyone. Powdered sugar is super messy. And also we're using cocoa, which is also messy. So hopefully I can contain it. So a 1/2 cup of the powdered sugar goes in. And then it calls for 1/3 cup of cocoa. I have just about that in this container. I'm going to use whatever's left in here. So if it's a little extra cocoa-y, that's okay. So we'll get all of that. This is not necessarily the best brand of cocoa. So if you wanted to get a better one, you definitely could for the sake of flavor, but I don't think that you need to do that. Then the last ingredient is 1/8 teaspoon of salt. I do not have an 1/8 measure, so I'm just going to use 1/4 teaspoon and try to split it in half. Put that in. And I keep my salt in a little Pyrex Friggy for anyone who was wondering. Kind of like a little salt cellar. And then I am just going to whisk everything together here. So since it calls for a mixer, I probably will try to whisk it a little bit better just to get all the lumps out and make sure that I have everything incorporated. Linda says her mom used to make homemade cocoa. That's really sweet. Okay, and she said she loves my measuring cups. These are just from Amazon, and I can try to find them and link them in the comments later if you guys are interested. They've done really well, better than my expensive ones as far as not breaking. So some of the things that I thought that you could mix into this would be dehydrated marshmallows. You could do broken up bits of peppermint or candy cane. I have some candy canes here that you definitely can just put on the outside of the cup, and they're really cute, but you could also add that into the mix so that it's already there for whoever you're giving it to or just for yourself. Looks pretty good and mixed up. So I have a couple of options here for how you could store this. If you're going to gift it, you definitely could put it in a container like this. This is more of like a jelly or preserve jar. It has the rubber lid, so that helps to keep moisture out. I thrifted this. I thrift jars all the time. This was 50 cents, and I think it's really pretty, just the shape of it. So throw it in your dishwasher. You can buy the new rubber gaskets if you feel weird about that, or sometimes they do get dried out, but you can buy new ones of those. You can just use a regular jar, and depending on how much you want to gift to people, you could use a pint jar or a quart-sized jar. I think that would be a good size. You could store yours in a half-gallon jar. I am going to do something a little special for ours just to make this feel a little bit more special for the holidays. I feel like this has been a super hard year, and I need whatever I can get to make it better. So I'm going to have this just sitting out on our counter. This is just a canister, glass canister. I thrifted this as well. It was $2. But you definitely could buy it at Walmart. That's the cheapest place that I have found it. Sorry, I got distracted by the comments. So I thrifted this one $2. I think you could buy it for about $6 or $7 at Walmart. So I'm going to leave this out on our counter this year and hopefully encourage us just to enjoy the hot chocolate and actually make it so that it doesn't get shoved in our cabinet and not use it. So then just have to fill the canister. And it definitely did not get as mixed at the bottom. Just mixing that a little bit better. So the comment that I got distracted on is Tim said, branching out into cooking shows, what can't you do? So talented. I could not do a cooking show, obviously, because I get so distracted. But thank you. Diane says, I make this every year for my mom's recipe. You can also add vanilla dried coffee creamer. I give it as a gift with candy canes. Yes, the first time I ever made it, I made it with coffee creamer to give it that flavor. So you could use whatever kind of coffee creamer you wanted, depending on the flavor that you like. So we'll get the last little bit. This is actually, just sidebar, a special edition Pyrex bowl. It was only made, just a few were made, and only 1 year. So I think it's perfect for the holidays, so I thought it would be good for this video. Okay, so I have everything in the canister. A couple of the other things that I got to show that you could put in it are these individually little wrapped chocolate covered cherries. I thought that would be fun. You could divvy those out into a bag for people, plop it in the bottom, and then when you put the cocoa mix in, and then I use water because it already has the dried milk, so I don't think that you need to use more milk on top of it. But obviously if you wanted to make it a little bit richer, you can use the milk. So you could plop this in the bottom. I have a bunch of just little mini candy canes. These are little cups, so they're not going to hold a full-size candy cane. I also picked this up at the grocery store yesterday. It's just the spoon dipped in white chocolate, and then it has the little nonpareils on it. You could obviously make these a lot cheaper too, but I just wanted to be able to show you. So I think that would be really cute. If you wanted to gift this, I would just gift it in a jar like this. You could put it in a basket or a gift bag and then just add the little things to go with it. So as far as how much cocoa mix you will use, the recipe calls for 1/4 cup, but I feel like especially for a little cup like this, that would be a lot, which is fine. You totally can do that. But I would probably start out with 2 or 3 tablespoons of it. And then if you want more, you definitely could add more. So I wanted to show you also, we use our electric kettle all of the time for boiling water, which is what I would use for this. So if you don't have one of these, they're super handy. It boils the water very quickly, and then it has a little warming pad. Well, this is what you would put it on, and so you can put the setting on to keep it warm for quite a while. So if you're making tea or want to have the hot cocoa going, you definitely could do that. You could have that going for a hot cocoa bar if you had a get together whenever people are going to have get togethers again. So there are just a lot of varieties. This, I'm not gifting it to anyone. I'm just going to keep it for us. I'm going to keep this out on our counter, and hopefully it will make us use it and just make it special. So does anyone have any other questions? I talked kind of fast, and hopefully the technology portion of this will get better as we do these. I'm not sure why I could not bring Dory on. She came on easily yesterday when we practiced. So there's that. But I think she's going to go live on her page as well. And then we'll share both of these to the 25 Days of Christmas event. If you haven't clicked going on that, you'll want to do it. I will share the link to the event in the description of this video once we get done. And once you click going, you'll get notifications of when new posts are put in if you turn on the notifications for it. And then also, what else? Oh, you need to look at the discussion tab in the event in order to see all the posts. But we're on day 5 today, and tomorrow I'm hopefully going to be joining Brooke from the Junk Parlor. She is going to be showing us how to fill a container, like a little decorative container. So I'm excited about doing that, and I do hope that it works out. Otherwise, I will come on live separately and show you how I would do it. So hopefully you enjoyed this little cooking show. I will not be showing a ton of recipes, although I do have one more for the 25 Days of Christmas. I am going to be showing you how to make Ritz cracker cookies at some point. So thank you for watching. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and that's it.